WFYI podcast brought to you by Bloomington, Indiana, an American college town offering food and drink, college sports, outdoor activities, live music, cool art, and good times daily. Everyone is welcome in Bloomington. More information at visitbloomington.com.
Are you interested in reaching the WFYI audience while supporting the programming you love? Become a sponsor today. Learn more at wfyi.org/sponsor.
This is WFYI News Now. It's May 15th, and I'm Drew Dodlin. On today's show, childcare providers advocate for higher wages and state support for early childhood education. A new pharmacy on the east side aims to offer prescription drugs at lower prices. Indiana's abortions dropped from around 500 at the start of last year to just 20 in December due to the abortion ban. And Governor Eric Holcomb says he's looking for transparency from Republican gubernatorial nominee Mike Braun on his plans for the state's future.
And to do that, you have to have a plan, and then you got to implement and execute on that plan. You have to share that plan as well.
Those stories coming up, but first, a proposal to create a new professional sports development area was introduced at the Indianapolis City County Council's meeting Monday night. This is the city's second effort to set up a special taxing district for the development of a soccer stadium. The new site is targeted as Major League Soccer considers a move to Indianapolis. The stadium would be built near the downtown heliport. The other professional sports development area is a riverfront site that has already been cleared for a new Indy 11 stadium and adjoining development. The future of that development is now in question. The proposal now moves to a Rules and Public Policy Committee, where it may face opposition from some councilors who continue to support Indy 11. And in a backyard on Indianapolis's east side, childcare providers and supporters met Monday afternoon to advocate for higher wages and state support for early childhood education. From WFYI's Education Desk, Sydney Dauphiné has more on the annual Day Without Childcare protest.
The protest, A Day Without Childcare, was one local chapter of a national movement. Childcare providers across the country agreed to close their doors for the day in an effort to demand higher wages and better working conditions. At Love Your Childcare, an in-home childcare business, parents and care providers demanded better regulations. Doris Jones works part-time as a care provider and part-time as a custodian. As a childcare provider, she is only able to afford care for one of her two children.
So either the State House don't wake up seriously and raise the wages, we're going to continue on fighting and keep on standing behind the child care workers, period, hands down.
Just over 60% of the children that likely need care can be served through existing capacity, and some options continue to shrink. Many providers have left the field in recent years because of low wages and working conditions. I'm Sydney Dauphiné.
Big box pharmacies like Walgreens and CVS don't take all insurance plans. That means patients might pay hefty prescription prices or go without. As Side Effects Public Media's Elizabeth Gabriel reports, a new pharmacy on the east side of Indianapolis will accept all Indiana Medicaid plans and aims to offer prescription drugs at lower prices.
The Jane Pauley Community Health Center is a federally qualified health center. That means it's eligible to have pharmacies that purchase drugs at a reduced rate while still receiving the same reimbursement as if they got the drug at the retail price. Aaron Knapp is the Director of Pharmacy Operations for JPCHC. He says the federal drug pricing program allows them to pass those savings on to patients by lowering the cost of their prescriptions.
The big box retailers are turning people away. People don't have anywhere to go. Even trying to get CVS or Walgreens to answer the phone is difficult a lot of the times. So we want to do pharmacy in a better way.
25% of people in the U.S. live in a pharmacy desert, with Black and brown communities disproportionately affected. Elizabeth Gabriel, Side Effects Public Media.
The latest national abortion count by the Society of Family Planning found an increase in the number of abortions in 2023 compared to the year prior. But Side Effects Public Media's Farah Husri reports Indiana's abortions dropped from around 500 at the start of last year to just 20 in December due to the abortion ban.
The WeCount report looked at abortions over 18 months, between April 2022 and December 2023. It reflects abortions provided in a healthcare setting, including in-person and virtual care. The state that saw the largest surge in abortion volume was Illinois, with more than 35,000 extra abortions over the 18-month period. Perhaps one of the other big takeaways of the report is a surge in the number of abortions provided under what's known as SHIELD laws. These laws protect clinicians in several states like New York, Massachusetts, and Colorado who provide telehealth abortions to people who live in states with abortion restrictions or bans. Between October and December 2023, there was an average of nearly 8,000 monthly telehealth abortions provided under SHIELD laws. I'm Farah Yusri, Side Effects Public Media.
And for our final story today, Governor Eric Holcomb says he's looking for transparency from Republican gubernatorial nominee Mike Braun on his plans for the state's future. Indiana Public Broadcasting's Brandon Smith reports Holcomb says he spoke with Braun on election night but hasn't met with him since.
Even before the election, Holcomb had urged Republican candidates to discuss in more detail issues he thinks are important. That includes community and economic development, infrastructure, mental health care, broadband access, and the future of the Medicaid program. Holcomb says the next governor needs to set more records for the state's growth.
And to do that, you have to have a plan, and then you got to implement and execute on that plan. You have to share that plan as well.
Mike Braun had some of the fewest detailed policy proposals of any of the 6 Republican gubernatorial candidates. For Indiana Public Broadcasting, I'm Brandon Smith at the State House.
That's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by the following people who live in your community: Aubriana Herron, Kendall Antron, who composed the music for this podcast, and me, Drew Dodlin. Our news director is Sarah Neal Estes. If you like today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.
WFYI podcast brought to you by Bloomington, Indiana, an American college town offering food and drink, college sports, outdoor activities, live music, cool art, and good times daily. Everyone is welcome in Bloomington. More information at visitbloomington.com.